Okay, I'm just checking to see if the sound is working. It is. Oh, I might scoot the camera in a little bit. Because I have this bin up here, I don't have any room. And I'm echoing. Sorry, guys. David's supposed to be jumping on chat to help me out. As you can see, it's me and not the Zaddy. The Zaddy is not in today. He had to go take care of some business, but he will be back next week. So hopefully I can do my part and you'll be able to learn something from me today. But I'm just gonna make sure everything is set up correctly. I think it is. Yes. Hi, Renee. Yes, I'm doing the show today. The show must go on, even if this is not my element, but it's okay. Hopefully enough people will jump on and help me out. And hopefully David's going to be here because I'm probably going to make some mistakes, but it'll be fun. Today I'm going to be showing you how to care for air plants. That's something I do well in. I wouldn't say I do well in any other plants, maybe succulents, but you know, plants that are easy to take care of is my my jam. If it's a pothos or a sansevieria, yeah, I got it. But I thought we'd do air plants. I'm going to show you how I water our air plants. There's a couple ways you can water them, a couple ways you can take care of air plants. But I'm going to show you what I typically do when I go to the store and I have to water usually about 40 to 50 air plants at a time. So there's a lot of air plants. You probably won't have this many, but if you do, this is a really easy way to do that. Okay, David, where are you? Probably gonna text him and be like, are you coming on? David, if you're here, please comment so I know you're here. I did promote on Facebook, but I was unable to promote on Instagram because my phone is my camera today. But okay, we're gonna get started. So I have quite a bit of air plants right here in front of me. This is one that I don't know the name of. It's one that David put in our front yard. And it looks like a couple different varieties, but if he hops on here, he can tell you what kind it is. But I've got a lot of different ones. We've got like Tectorums, Xerographicas. These are cool. What else do I've got? Caput Medusa. Gosh, there's all kinds of different ones here. But Juncia, these ones are cool. We're gonna water these. So first thing you need to do is you need to get a bin big enough for all of your air plants. And then you want to get some distilled water. I just went and picked this up at the grocery store. Any distilled water will do. I believe RO water is okay. I'll have David verify that. You can also use rainwater. So if it rains a lot where you live, you can collect rainwater and you can water your air plants with it. You can also just leave your air plants outside in the rain if you live in a place that rains a lot. Like Florida is a great place. Hawaii is a great place. Those places are not too cold. They've got a lot of humidity and it rains a lot. So the air plants, you really don't have to take care of them at all. But if you keep air plants indoors, you're going to want to do what I'm doing today. So I'm going to fill this up. I have 2 jugs. I think I'm going to need both jugs. And if this doesn't get submersive enough, there's David. Thank goodness. I think my bucket's too big, David. We'll do our best. It's all good. David, I needed to know what kind of air plant this is because this is one of the biggest air plants I have right now. So please tell the audience what the air plant is. And if you're just tuning in, my name is Krystal and this is the Plant Bar. And normally my husband hosts the live show, but he is out of town right now. And yeah, you got me for the next hour or so. We might not go a whole hour. I'm not as entertaining as David. If anything, I'm gonna like make myself look like a goofball. Yes, the big one with the red flowers. What is it called? I don't know what it's called. But if you're just tuning in, please say hello. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so we can get monetized and, you know, all that stuff. Because once you do that, you can do a lot more on YouTube. So we're hoping to get there soon. We've been loving doing our show, so we're going to keep doing it. It's every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Hawaii Central Time or Hawaii Standard Time, and then it's 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So let's see how much I can get these submerged. See, I got this huge bin because of this giant, this giant plant. But I don't know, David. I don't think it's going to fit. It's not going to get submerged enough, but we're going to do our best. So I'm just going to plop these guys in here face down. Try to get them nice and wet. Another thing you can do when you're watering the air plants, it's just more tedious, is you can spray them like 3 times a week. Really depends on your environment though. Depends on your humidity and temperature. The more humid it is, probably the less you need to water them. But like in Arizona, soaking is absolute must. Absolute must. Okay, almost got all these guys in the water. I tend not to try to get this end all the way in there because it can cause rotting. So I just like dip it upside down to get it all wet. But I try to get all the leaves wet. And then I go over here to my timer and I hit go. And I set a timer for 20 minutes. And then at 20 minutes, we'll still be on the live. I'll show you how I take them out, dry them off, and prepare them to go back on their display. But while these are soaking, I'm going to show you some ways to display some of the ones that I didn't rinse today. But we're going to move this down here, out of the way. Okay, so I kept some air plants out. These guys are doing pretty good. They've been living in the front area and they get a lot of showers. We actually just had a pretty decent rain the other day. So I was able to not really worry about these guys so much because they got sprinkled. But I've got some of my favorites here. These are red Abditas, another Xerographica, and they're getting quite large. These grow pretty big. It feels like you almost miss how big they're getting because it's kind of slow, but I feel like these have grown quite a bit. Oh, now you tell me what it is. Okay, it's a hybrid Tillandsia, the red big giant one. I'll pull that out in just a bit so you can look at it. I have another Caput Medusae, and then a couple Tillandsias, some Tectorums. This is like a dyed Tectorum that they made kind of Christmassy, and I kept a Christmassy one for myself. And then Juncia. See, red Abditas. David, remind me of what these are called again. I can't remember. He'll help out. But I'm going to show you some ways to display these. So you can just like put these on a shelf in your house. We have this like really cool lattice that we hang plants from, and we like to stick air plants in the lattice. You can also make a moss wall and you can glue them onto the moss wall and they'll just sit there with the pretty sign. Looks really, really nice. But one thing we really like to do, and I was inspired by a customer that had just ordered a bunch of air plants for a display. We like to put them on driftwood, and if you live by a river or a beach, probably could find some pretty cool wood where you live and put your air plants on it. And you can do all kinds of cool things. if you can get like in our old store, we used to have this tree stump. Those of you that had come, it was such a big attraction. Everybody wanted a picture of it because it was so cool. David basically was like a tree stump with roots that came down the bottom, and he hooked like chains into it so he could hang it up, and so it was a chandelier. And we added a bunch of moss and air plants to it, and it was one of the coolest things in the store, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people thought so too. But you can use all kinds of wood pieces to bring out the different elements of the air plants. It's just a really nice natural decoration to have in your house. And because they don't need soil, I mean, you literally can stick them anywhere. So I said that you could glue them onto things. The only thing about gluing them on is you need to be able to take whatever you glued them onto and be able to either soak it or be able to spray it. So if I had glued it to the sign, I'd have to make sure that I'd spray it probably 2 to 3 times a week. Or if the sign was more in like the rain, then probably not have to worry so much. But there's different ways you can display air plants. I'm probably going to go way too fast, David. I don't think I'm going to make it a whole hour. But there's different ways you can display air plants on this wood piece. You just have to find what works. And you don't necessarily have to glue it on. Gluing it on might make it stay better. But you do want to play with texture. So I could like fool around with how I'm going to lay this out. There's many different sides. So I could like do that. See? Move these out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. But playing with the different textures of air plants will give it a lot of character. And this is something David taught me. Like these abditas, they have a little bit of red, so you can pop some red in there. Like how well can you see my display? Is the sound good for you, David? Okay, well, Renee said it's good, so I trust Renee. But, okay, so I'm going to play around with like where I'm going to put these different pieces. I mean, generally, they're all green. Some of them, like the giant one that we have flowers. And the flowers obviously add a different element to your display. So I'm trying to see what it looks like on the camera because I can't really see how good it looks on the camera. Move it forward even more. Okay. So now I got to start over. This is going great, David. Everybody's going to be begging for you to come back after today's show. Okay. Yeah, I lost all of them. I didn't just lose one. I lost all of them. And I gotta, it's hard. It's difficult for me to make this backwards. I would say that is what I'm struggling with the most, is I'm trying to make it backwards. And it's not really working out so great. But we'll see. You don't have to be super creative. You just start placing things in different places and then take a look. Does it look stupid? No? Okay, keep going. Oh, it went over the front? Well, I'll have to go around and get it. It was probably this guy's friend. Man, too bad music is copywritten because I really need some music right now. That would make this a lot better. So I don't love this at all. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to go get the little guy that I dropped. Where's the Pele's hair? I don't know where the Pele's hair is. I'm going to find some Pele's hair. I'll be right back. Since it's just me, I don't have an assistant. And even though I have some assistants, they probably won't know what Pele's hair is. I mean, maybe Kira will. Hey, Kira, are you watching? Come help me find the Pele's hair. All right, I think I'm going to slide this a little bit forward. There's the air plant I lost. Pele's hair, Pele's hair. I didn't find the Pele's hair, but I did find more air plants. In the ficus tree. Oh, okay. I see it now. All right, so let's see if I can. Yeah, me having it forward is making me lose them. But the idea would be that you would glue them on. I might eventually glue this on. Nope, I don't like this Juncia today. This Medusa has a flower coming out of it. It's really cool. Sometimes these turn pink or red. I think they get maybe even purple. They're very, very cool. And to make these flower faster, you can get like an air plant fertilizer. And that will hurry those beautiful little babies up. All right, so I'm just filling in this log here. I'm trying to help you see. Yeah, he's right. You can use E6000. E6000, yeah, E6000. Do we have E6000? If we do, I don't know where it's at. So I've put these on this tree stump. They're looking pretty cool. You can probably add a few more different ones. Let me see. Got these like more green spiky ones can go up here. They're not, I'm like, am I moving it? I'm moving it out of the frame. Here, more in the frame, and we're gonna move it forward. There it is. But you can also add some moss, which is just more green. See, I've got this moss, but it's kind of, I like the spongy moss better, like this kind of moss. And you can like wrap this through and give it some more character too. It's really hard to work backwards, guys. I'm not gonna lie. The other thing you could add to a display like this would be, remind me, David, what was it that I could add to the display besides the air plants? Yeah. There's such a delay because I speak and then he can answer. Bromeliads. So I don't think I have a, where do we have bromeliads? Are they on the side? Or an epiphyte type plant? Can you explain what that is? Do we have one that I can show? I still have 7 minutes till the plants are done. So maybe I'm going to go grab last week's planter just to see what they look like. And if David has any items that we've done that I could show. Actually, I could update you on some of the terrariums that we built. I'll go check it out and I'll be right back. But check out the display while I'm going to do that. So I don't know if you showed this recently. Maybe you did. But David built these bogs for Venus flytraps and different kind of carnivore plants. And it's really cool. It has this like watering pipe inside. I don't know if you can see it. That you pour the water into, and then the water, there's like a string inside, and the water slowly comes up the top. But they're pretty happy in here. And back in the day, we used to have a lot of trouble with these, but I don't know if you can see there's like water on the bottom. They love it to be like that. You did show it last week. I thought you did. I'm showing it again because I think it's cool. But I do have to replant something. So we will put this little guy off to the side. But if you ever need help with air plants, or you want to get a variety like this, we can hook you up and put an arrangement together for you, and even walk you through how to display it. Have a FaceTime call. But yeah. But as you can see, if you don't secure it to the wood and you don't have a flat piece, so you could find a driftwood that is more flat and it won't be that tricky to move. But if you have one that's more unique like this one and lots of ridges and not really flat, I would glue it on. Because you could take this entire wood piece and just dunk the whole thing, and depending upon the glue you use, it should just stay all together. And you watered it last week. Yeah, I don't think I watched you last week. I was super busy. It was April Fool's. I did play a prank on him and put the Zaddy sign up. But okay, I have to pot a plant. Since I have a few minutes before we have to take the other air plants out, I will pot that plant right now. So I have this Areca palm that I split this week. David, should I tell the story about that? I should tell the story about that. I had an order, and one of the plants in the order, we didn't have the right size. They wanted a smaller one, and I only had a big one, so I split it and only split part of it. I didn't finish splitting it, so I have to take care of that. We're going to do that right now. As David had taught me, I did this in my car, so my car is pretty full of dirt right now, but you know, you just slowly pull the roots apart. David does this way better than me. David, what are these like nut-looking things at the bottom? What are these? They look like nuts or something. I don't even know. How are the hanging baskets that I did last week? They look great. I'll bring them over in just a second. Our timer is about to go off too. But so I'm just pulling these slowly apart. Eventually I'm just going to pull a little harder. As you can see, the roots are really intertwined, but I'm going to make this big plant into two smaller ones. Areca is a betel nut, so probably that. Okay, good to know, because I didn't know. So I have these smaller pots here. We're going to try to put a little bit of soil in there and see how this fits. So David, there's a lot of roots here, and all these roots barely fit in this pot. Excuse me. I think it would be fine to put it in here like this. They'll just be very snug in there, which I think is okay. David, correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm just gonna, I took the soil that I put in out because they weren't gonna fit otherwise. And now I'm just gonna fill it back in with the soil. Excuse me, I am coughing like crazy. Probably from one of the plants. I have bad allergies. But, all right, I'm getting this Areca nice and snug in there. I got a two whole new plants, technically 3, because I just did an order of another plant. But like my mom always says, where there's a will, there's a way. I'm sure she's watching right now laughing at my comment, but it's true. If you need to get something done, you can do it. So this guy is a lot bigger. I wonder if I could even split it again. I can. I got 2. David's not correcting me, so I'm just going to keep going. So this past weekend, we had a pretty big event. Wait, what was your what? What was your what? So this one seems like, what was my question? This one seems to be like it'll fit okay. We'll just fill this guy up. Look at that. We're going to get 4 plants out of this plant. Making babies, I think. David, are we making babies? Is that what we're doing here? Where there's a will, there's a way. What was my question? Oh, if this was too much roots for this little pot. But, I mean, I guess if it is, you can fix it when you get home. It does feel a little unstable, but I'm trying to pack it in. I know you guys miss David. He is way better at this than I. And he could like jump to like 5 different things and talk about plants for like probably 3 hours or more. This seems really big for this little pot, David. I might want to size it up to the 6, but we went with the 4. There's like roots sticking out the bottom. I mean, would you buy it like that? I don't know. Okay. Pinch it in good. Yes. The palms have to be in a block or something else sturdy to hold them in the pot. Okay. Well, he's probably going to have to fix this then when he gets back because I don't know. A block of soil, you mean? Or do you mean like a, like one of those water block things? Green things. This thing is just massive. I think that should have went in a 6-inch. This one's a little bit smaller. So we're going to finish this up and then we're going to dry off our air plants. Hey, Dolores. Hey, is Kira around? I need a towel. That would be helpful. I was even able to reuse most of the soil. I'm probably gonna have to get a little bit more to make this snug. A cinder block inside the little pot? I'm confused. Explain. Please explain. Any towel, like the ones in the bottom of the dryer. Didn't mean for my mom to go get it, considering she just had knee surgery 2 weeks ago. But, you know, can't hold her down. She's been up and cleaning and doing all kinds of stuff. Maybe Kiki will come out and say hello. I think I just heard her coming out. But look at that, you guys. I mean, David might have to fix these, but I think they look pretty good. They're a little bit top heavy, I think. So when I replanted this 6-inch pot, it didn't look so top heavy. It looked a lot less top heavy in the 6-inch pot. So maybe that's what I could have done, but especially this one. This one has so many stems coming off of it. No, you put the pots in the open area of the block to keep them from falling over. Oh, I see. Well, these are pretty big, so I probably should put them in here. Yeah, this would have been a good pot for that. But that's okay. Oh, here comes my lovely assistant. Hi, assistant. Hi. Do you want to hang out with me or no? Wave hi to everybody. Your dad's on there too. Hi, Dad. Daddy comes home tomorrow. So I'm just going to clean up my area because water and dirt are not fun together. They make mud. Alrighty. Cleaning that up. All right, let's bring our air plants back out. Here they are in the bin. Might toss this one a little more, get it a little more wet before I pull it out. I'm going to move my little display out of the way so that I can have enough space to work. And then once I'm done laying these out to dry, I will bring over the hanging baskets that David planted last week so you can see how they are doing. Okay, so you can take any old beach towel, house towel, whatever you like. Big enough to lay out air plants. It's better to do it outside, a covered area outside, I think. I mean, you could probably leave them outside in the sun, but if they're going to be displayed back inside, obviously, don't forget about them. But what I like to do is I like to shake it off as much as you can handle. Sing Taylor Swift. Shake it off, shake it off. Shake it off as much as you can. And then sometimes they get these little crunchy ends. You can cut those off. You can pull off the leaves that are starting to come off, because that's pretty common for them to shed and shed and shed and shed. What you want to avoid, though, is there getting to be too much water down in the trunk of the plant, because it causes it to rot out the bottom and then the whole thing just crumbles in your hand. I have definitely had that happen a few times. I do believe it is either because of overwatering, or it's not, maybe overwatering is the wrong word. I think it's because they didn't dry out enough. So you really want to make sure that you dry your air plants out after you soak them, or to be safe, just spray them. But again, really depends on where you live. Arizona, do not spray your air plants. They will probably die. This guy, like this guy's growing a baby. Can you see the baby? It's like mama, baby. Super cute. But see, look how much, I don't know if you can see how much water this little tiny one holds. And if you don't let these guys dry out, they just crumble. And I do think water choice is important. If you're just using regular tap water, there might be things in the tap water that they don't like. So don't do that. Yeah, just going to keep shaking them. Yes, you can. Wait, are you saying give them all some fertilizer? Are you talking about the arecas or are you talking about the air plants? I missed your comment. So like this guy has some leaves that could shut off. Just pull them off. I do the same thing with succulents. The succulents will get leaves that are overgrown. And I just pull them off and it makes it look brand new. Oh, the arecas. Yeah, I know. You'll get them later. You're going to fix whatever I did. So tune in next Tuesday for David to fix any of the mistakes I made on today's show. Then you could be like, oh, I listened to Krystal last week and she was wrong. So these ones don't hold as much water, but they can get crunchy easily. So you also want to make sure that you get these to dry out. And if you can put them upside down so they drain out, that's great. Like they look like little octopus. Little octopus. That one doesn't want to stay. How am I doing on time? Wow, I got into 35 minutes. Didn't expect that today. But yeah, we had a really busy weekend. My girls were in a play called Alice in Wonderland. And Kira played Tiny Alice and a gardener, which is one of the cards. And Misha was the Mad Hatter. And they did so good. They had 4 shows, technically 5 shows because there was a parent preview. And honestly, they did great on every single show. All the kids did. And this would be actually both of their first play. Misha typically does musicals. And Kira, she's only done stage performances in ballet. So this was a big deal. It was very exciting for them. But it was done at the high school. And Kira was the youngest kid in the production. They allowed kids from schools. The program is called CTAA, Central Theater Arts Academy. Oh, see, I just got some stuff coming off. And it is an island-wide program. So all public schools are allowed to participate. They typically hold the shows at Mililani, and all the practices are at Mililani. But I do believe they do them at Kapolei High School. But hi, how are you? We're just drying off air plants. That one didn't go so hot. I jumped it back in there. I wanted to go for another swim. But yeah, the theater program is super awesome. It's free to all public school students, and they can they just have to audition for whatever production is happening. The next one will be it'll be next year, but we'll know what it is in the next couple weeks. It's going to probably be a musical, and it may or may not be open to elementary school. It might just be open to junior high and high school, but we will see. And maybe Misha will come and correct me. But yeah, that was our weekend. And then this week, David comes home, and we're gonna celebrate our birthday because our birthday was a lot of work. We both had to work, and he had to get stuff prepared because he had to go out of town unexpectedly. So yeah, we will be celebrating when he gets home. Probably go to the beach. The girls and I went to Waimea Bay yesterday, and the waves were huge. They were like, I want to say like 10 feet. And you know what? 10 feet doesn't sound that big when you hear that they have 50-foot waves there. But yeah, the 50-foot waves are kind of insane. But the 10-foot waves, you could see people, they were just swimming. And then all of a sudden the wave would come, and you would see their whole body go up into the wave and flip over. It looked crazy. My girls were playing in the water, but they know better, and they know when and when not to be in the water. The lifeguards were stressing that because there's a lot of people not from here that think that they can handle the water. but then they find out very quickly that they can't. So the lifeguards were very like informative on, hey, let's stay back from the water if you don't know what you're doing. It can be very dangerous. You can get swept out really easily, and then you get sucked way out, and then they got to get a jet ski to go get you because the waves are too big. But okay, so you at home probably don't have this many air plants, but it does take a little bit to shake each one off, and you really want to shake it. Oh wow, look at this guy. So this has 2 babies. I'm trying to see, like, can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. It has 2 babies growing off the sides. That is very cool. But yeah, almost done with the air plants. And then I will show you how pretty the hanging pots that David planted last week are doing. They look really nice. He's got them hanging up pretty much right next to me. All right. Here we go. Okay, so funny story. So many of you know that David got his hair cut a few weeks ago. Actually, it's almost been 6 weeks, right, David? Probably. Ooh, why do you have to shake the water off? Will it grow fungus? Good question. So, Melissa, if you're just tuning in, the reason I'm shaking the water off is because if it doesn't dry off enough, it will actually rot out. Just like if you get root rot in your pots, the air plants can get some kind of rot inside if the water doesn't get out. So I shake them and then I put them upside down like an octopus to dry. And like, you probably can't see it on the video, but they're glistening. So they're very wet still. And they're probably going to take about a day to dry, especially here. It's very humid here. But if you leave your air plants outside, you wouldn't even do this. You wouldn't soak your air plants. So you don't have to worry about that because they're getting hit by the rain if you live here in Hawaii. Oh, it could be. There's a couple reasons they could die. Yeah, only if it's stored inside or like under a dark patio where they're not getting any moisture, like a lot of moisture, I guess. Like we test out plants. We've got plants back in the corner that have the most coverage of like an awning versus plants that are like out more by the sun. And the amount of times they need to be watered actually vary quite a bit. David would know more than me how often they vary. But one of the chores that I probably will do tomorrow is check everything because David's been gone for a few days now and need to make sure none of the plants are getting too dried out. So I'll just take my moisture meter and go around, but he could probably answer how often, the inner patio gets watered compared to the outer patio plants. The plants in the house get watered. Is it twice a week, David, or once a week? Or do we check them? We check them twice a week. I wish I turned in earlier because air plants care is new to me. Oh, well, I'm your girl. This is actually my jam. This is like when David and I were discussing what I'm going to do on the live show today, I was like, it's either going to be succulents or air plants because that's what I'm best at. And I'm not really best at anything plant-wise, but these are okay. Like when we run a store, this is where I gravitate to. I'll take care of the air plants. Ooh, look, this is so pretty. You see that pink flower coming up? Ooh, that's going to be gorgeous. I can't wait to like check in on this one to see what's going to happen with it. That one's really cool. This is, again, a caput medusae. It looks like Medusa hair. How do you know they're thirsty? David, why are you not paying attention? What was my question? My question was, how often do the inner patio plants need to be watered compared to the outer patio plants? So the patio plants that are closer to the sun versus the ones that are further in the back. Is there a vast difference on how much you water them? or they're pretty close, versus how often you water the plants on the inside of the house. So generally, Melissa, the air plants that I keep inside, I typically water them once a week for 20 minutes submerged. It's kind of a game though, because you have to pay attention to, how they tolerate that. So you might lose a couple guys before you figure out your environment, and knowing how much water they actually need. I'm trying not to cough in the mic. I actually think it was the soil that like got into my face, and now I'm like coughing like crazy. Because I've definitely had my fair share of loss of air plants, especially learning the difference between how to take care of them here in Hawaii versus Arizona. In Arizona, there was no doubt you had to water them no matter what once a week for 20 to 30 minute soak. Otherwise, they'd get really brittle. So I would say when they start, yeah, see, David's he's got a better explanation than me. Right now, oh no, he's talking about the other plants, right? Yes, he is. Sorry. So when it comes to the patio plants, he says right now, 1 time a week for the inner plants, or certain ones every 2 to 3 weeks, which certain ones he probably means Sansevieria, Jacina, maybe. Am I right? Versus the outer plants, they get watered 3 times a week, except succulents. Oh man, so that means I probably need to water some plants because I haven't watered any plants. Except succulents and cactus, you barely water those here. It's just too moist. David, remind me what these ones are called, because like these ones are more, what are the word I'm looking for? They just look more like natural. I don't know how to explain it. Wild. They look more wild. Yeah, I'm in trouble. Oh no. See, I asked him what my duties were while he was gone with this whole backyard thing. And the only thing he told me I had to do was to recycle his plant tank. Yeah, I'm probably in trouble. I'll take care of it. But yeah, tell me what these are called, because they're really like wild looking. These are ones I've only seen grown here in Hawaii. I don't remember seeing those anywhere else. Okay. Woo! So like this big guy is super wet. I can't believe I've almost taken up a whole hour of your time, guys. I'm just on air plants. I guess I did pot some Arecas. So like this guy's super wet. So he's probably going to take a little bit to dry. And I'm probably not going to put him on top of these guys, because then he's just going to get them all wet. But I only have 2 more. So David, can we reuse this water? That's what she said. Can we reuse this water, or is it no good? That would be my question, because typically I don't reuse the water. But for those of you who are trying to save money, maybe you're going to put the water back in the distilled water bottle and use it for next week. Yes, we are reusing it. Okay, so we will put this water back inside of the jug. We'll just set that airplane over there. I'm going to get my handy little, can I use the pump to put the water back in, and I can show people how you do that, because that's pretty fancy. Let's see what he says. All right, I'm going to go get the hanging pot to show you what it looks like. Uh-oh. I'm probably in trouble. Oh, okay. Wait, you're using distilled water? Yes, I am using distilled water to water the air plants. You can also use RO water or rainwater. Again, if you keep your air plants outside in the rain, you probably don't need to mess with them at all. They'll just grow and get big. Okay, here is David's pretty planter. I won't show the wilting ones on the other side because it probably needed water. For the most part, it looks really good, but it does need to be watered. So I will be watering these after the show. Whoa, that's a weird word. I'm gonna mess it up. Funkiana. It's not a hina hina. No, just kidding. What's a hina hina? Is that just a generic term for an air plant? But yeah, I do see that the outer plants need to be watered. So I'll take care of that. But since I got you here for, I mean, you can use normal water if you're not noticing they're dying. If you notice that they're dying, you might want to try a different water. I mean, it's recommended to use distilled rainwater or RO water because the minerals that can be in tap water can be too much. So I have this cool water pump thing that I use to empty the fish tank. And I'm going to try to use this to scoop up my water from the air plants. Kind of looks like something else. But look at that. You just pump it and then it'll eventually drain inside. You have to make sure the tube is submerged though. It's pretty slow though. Let's see if I can get this right. I'm afraid I'm like gonna knock it over. See, David, I don't think it's working. It works better in a huge thing of water. There has to be some kind of like air pressure. It's kind of doing it. I just have to keep pumping it. This might be more effort than wanted. Just get a funnel and just dump the whole thing in the thing. I mean, it's kind of working. It's gravity fed. The bottle needs to be lower than the bin. Oh. Well, I was trying to show what it was doing. Okay, well, now you guys got the gist. So I'm going to keep... you have to pump it up so it gets the water going. It's still like really slow. This is not like the fish tank. Yeah, I'm sorry, David. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, who saw the Minecraft movie? Was it good? It looked pretty good. I mean, it's Jack Black. Okay, now it's like running like crazy because I tilted the bin over and there's a lot more water being able to be pulled through. That was smart. So now it's going very fast. I should have this first jug filled in no time. Probably too soon. Then it's going to spill all over the place. But Melissa, if you need any more help with your air plants, I'm sure me or David would be happy to entertain whatever you need. Oh, it was dope? Oh my gosh, now I gotta go. Ken said that Minecraft was dope. Please explain the whole, was it chicken something everybody was freaking out about in the theater? I don't understand what that was all about. Guess I'll just have to go watch it. I really wanted to do it yesterday, but life. Life happens. Tonight, we're having pizza and buffalo chicken nachos for dinner. So that'll be nice. What'd you all have for dinner? Chicken jockey. Okay, yeah, explain the chicken jockey, please. Yeah, we just use this bin to collect rainwater. Actually, David, do you have a barrel now? Just put barrels on rain gutters here. We don't have enough rain though. I'll just run around with buckets and Tupperware when it rains. So when it rains in Hawaii, it's like massive sometimes. And right here next to me, we get a ton of rain. And I mean, you could put your ice chest out there. Oh, look at that. I was able to re-put the water into the jars, the jugs, while I was on the live. So normally it wouldn't take you all this long to water air plants, but I have a lot of air plants, so it takes me a little bit, but there we go. Now I can reuse this for next week and I don't have to go buy it again. But I just got this at Safeway, so not a big deal. They were, it's probably way more expensive here than everywhere else, but I think it was $1.99 a gallon, I think. It was because the gutter broke. Yeah, that's true. Our gutter did break and it just goes crazy everywhere. Gonna have to fix that. So these guys, I'm checking them right now. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of dark. I don't know how well this comes up on camera, but that is very, very wet. This particular guy looks like he got a little bit distressed on the center. We're going to keep an eye on that. But we just don't want this to get really squishy. That's when we have a really bad problem because it'll just like fall completely apart. But for the most part, it stays intact and it'll just start sprouting out new leaves. Oh, another child's coming to say hello. Are you gonna come on the live show? Don't paint it on the tablecloth. Yeah, don't paint it, please. Thank you, Melissa. I was like, how am I gonna do this live show by myself? Okay, so some of you know this, but I used to actually run a podcast with a friend back in the day, actually 2020. We started a podcast where we talked about just like life stuff. Sometimes we would talk about funny stuff. Sometimes we would talk about some super serious stuff or weird stuff. Some of the conversations would get a little wild, but I love doing that. It was a lot of fun for me. And I enjoy being in this environment, but I'm a little bit afraid of being the plant spokesperson. So this was a bit intimidating for me today to come on here and talk about plants because plants are David. He teaches me, not the other way around. And I try my best. And I swear, he'll tell me something and then I say, oh yeah, you do it like this. And he's like, that's not what I told you. Who knows which one of us is right? It's all good. But I'm very excited to be able to continue the show today because he unfortunately was not able to do the show today. And so instead of canceling the show, I just decided, just go on and do something that I know. And I know air plants. So you need some help with your air plants, please message me if you need some ideas for cool displays. I have all kinds of cool things that you can do. So be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And tune in next week. David will be back. Maybe you won't want David back. Just kidding. I know you want David back. We need the Zaddy back. I think I got off topic about you cutting your hair. I was talking about you cutting your hair and then I got distracted. He probably needs another haircut. But yeah, he got pretty popular for a hot second and it was pretty funny. So I pranked him by putting Zaddy on the wall because that's what everybody was calling him. But yeah, David will be back next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I keep forgetting about daylight savings. So be sure to come hang out with us. I have no idea what he's going to want to talk about next week. But, oh yeah, it's 26 degrees where he's at. Sorry, babe. It's what is it, 86 today? I think it was 87 today. It was hot. Feels really good out here, though. It's been a little bit breezy. Not too bad. Thanks, Jen. Yeah, David says he needs another haircut already. Who knows what that next video will do? Oh my goodness. Might get some girls trying to hunt him down again. Thanks, Mom. my mom's watching. She's a good support. But I gotta go make dinner for these kids, and yeah, I hope you learned something today. And if you didn't, you'll learn something when David comes back next week. But yeah, I don't have anybody to shut this off, so I'm gonna sign out and then I'm gonna go turn it off. But yeah, please message me again if you have air plant questions. I got you. All right. See you later, guys. Bye. Oh, hi, Auntie. Bye.